So I promised Forrest that I would make a Leonard Talks video in response to the one that him, Sean, Asia, and I believe Julia made the other day. I think Julia. I think that's who I was hearing in the background. Anyways, so generally it seemed the three topics that were being discussed were marijuana, Jesus, and anchovies. So, I guess to start off with marijuana. I've never done marijuana. I most likely won't do marijuana, even if it does become legal. Don't have anything against it. My general thoughts are it's a mind-altering substance. If used heavily over long periods of time, it can be somewhat detrimental to your health, but there's no strong scientific proof that it can be vastly detrimental. There are plenty of things that are illegal today, which are vastly detrimental if abused in the long term. Alcohol being the most straightforward one. I just think it should be legal. I don't think there should be really any debate about that. I mean, if you're going to argue that long-term exposure is going to be detrimental to your health, then shouldn't we also make it illegal to stay out in the sun for a certain amount of time? Like, after 3-4 hours, you can't stay out in the sun. I don't know. I just don't see any logic for marijuana not being legal. There's a whole bunch of things about, like politics about, well, if you make marijuana legal, then you might end up, like, making bigger drug problems and gateway drug, and I just think that's a bunch of bullshit, for the most part. I think the next one was Jesus. I think you guys were sort of saying something about Jesus being high. I couldn't quite tell. Your volume still had a little volume problems. I heard you had some worse volume problems, but I still couldn't hear exactly what you were saying. I doubt Jesus. I mean, I don't really know. Who knows whether Jesus was getting high. I think it's quite possible he was just a really spiritual dude who had some pretty cool ideas, and then some of his followers, I think, are pretty good at following his beliefs for the most part, and some of his followers distort his beliefs as they're portrayed. Who really knows what his beliefs are? So, I mean, if you believe in Jesus, power to you. You know, I don't really care, just as long as you're having a positive impact on the planet. I mean positive, not like in your view what's positive, just as long as you're helping other people out the way they need to be helped out, not the way you think they need to be helped out, then I don't really care what your religious beliefs are. And I really couldn't quite hear what else you were saying about Jesus. I think it's quite possible that Jesus did exist. Just maybe not in the way most people tend to think he exists. But I also don't want to bash people's religion too much. Just the organized part, not the spiritual part. And lastly, anchovies. First of all, don't bring this up with Dad. I'm pretty sure Dad loves anchovies. I don't remember there being guts in the actual anchovy when it comes from an anchovy can, but I'm also not one to speak. Like, I don't know the last time that I've seen anchovies. I've never eaten them, except probably a few times in Caesar salad, not on purpose. So, yeah. I guess overall, anchovies are a little weird. I mean, why? Yeah, it's a little weird. I'd have to agree with you, but I've never tasted them, so there's only so much I can judge. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on those few subjects for Leonard Talks from the other side of the United States. Finally made it back to the United States. Don't take American Airlines. British Airways is pretty good. American Airlines, in my experience, will basically just try and screw you over every chance that they get, which is understandable to make money, but it just blows. It really sucks. So, anyways, that's about it. Now I have to go do some other stuff. So yeah, other half of the Leonard Talks signing out.